Pixel art, a staple in both the art and the indie game industry. And even though I am in both worlds, I actually never did any pixel art in my whole life. At least that I can remember. So I thought, you know what, maybe it's time to learn pixel art and see what I can do in a new medium. So I gave myself a whole 30 days to not just learn, but thrive making pixel art. So the plan is to spend 5 days learning and making pixel art, and then on the 5th day post my progress on social media to see what other people think and get some easy feedback. Then all that's left is to do that for a whole 30 days, and then the challenge is finished. Easy, right? So hi, how's it going? The name's Hilarious, and let me just get it out of the way. Days 1 to 5 was bad. At first, I didn't want to watch any tutorial and see what I can do by myself, just try some things out. This proved to be a very bad idea. I did not get what making pixel art really meant. Instead of trying to accept that I just have a few pixels to work with, I tried to stray as far as I could from that idea. And that became more and more apparent as the days went by. And in the end, when I showed it to people in social media, even though some people might, still consider it as pixel art, a lot of people, well, let's just say, beg to differ. So with my warped view of pixel art shattered, kind of feeling down since at the start of the challenge and I'm already messing up like this, I still had no choice but to pick up the pen and keep going. So on the days 6 to 10, I finally let go of what I'm used to and shrunk my canvas to about 100 by 100 pixels. At first, I was testing out the waters and see what I could do. I started sketching some characters like this mantis and this minotaur. After getting used to the low resolution, I made this piece in day 8 that I'm actually really proud of. But as days go by and I get more comfortable to experiment, there came day 9, where I finally decided to scrap the line art altogether and work like how I always usually work. And I then proceeded to make pieces that I both really enjoyed making and really liked the end result. In the end, I had a lineup that looks like this to show to other people. The ones I really like are these frog and this character. I don't know, they were the ones that I made that really captured my art style and how I want to move forward with the rest of the 30 days. Now before we actually move forward with the video, if you can just leave a like, that would be very helpful. And if you want to see more content like this, subscribe so you won't miss out on anything. Anyway, back to the 30 days. So as per the agreement, I posted it to social media, and lo and behold, people really seemed to like it. At least there weren't a lot of comments saying that what I did was not pixel art. At first, I was confused why the images were so blurry when posting, but then I learned that pixel artists have to rescale their work to a bigger canvas size in order to post it on social media. So after reading what people had to say, their mostly positive comments and feedback, I went into days 11 to 15 with a boost of confidence. So in the next 5 days, I wanted to just wing it and make random cool ideas that I had. Like in day 11 where I made a rooftop environment on a sunset. And when I said random ideas, I meant random with a capital R. Because in day 12, it went from pretty sunset to a hell monster with a cow skull as its head. And then it went to creepy white-haired dude in day 13, and back to giant monsters in day 14. At this point, I was really enjoying just making pixel art every day, seeing what I can do, what cool art pieces I can make, and how far I can push this. In day 15, I even tried to make a portrait-style artwork mimicking a phone wallpaper. After that, I took the 4 that I liked the most and once again shared it to other people. It got way more engagement than before. A lot of people seem to really like what I have done, and some people even tuned in again for my progress. And seeing all the positive feedback like this made me think that I have got something here. All I need to do is keep improving at this pace, and thought that nothing could go wrong. Day 16, the day where everything started to go wrong. You see, I had a very simple plan. It was like a linear curve with a steady slope of improvement. It went like this. At first, I try line art. When I'm comfortable, I try no line art. And then when I feel like I'm good with that, now I try animation. Don't look at me like that. Yeah, so the linear curve is actually more like this, exponential. And just to kick me down even further, at the same time, some things that I can't push back anymore, things like school deadlines and making my indie game, just two really minor things that greatly consume the next 5 to 10 days. So with a goal like that and responsibilities catching up, I inevitably, did really, really bad. I mean, I like what I did in day 6 more than this. So when I finally posted it, as expected, no one really paid attention. My whole world was crashing down and I just felt bad for not keeping up the pace that I was going. But of course, when the sun rises, another day starts, and the challenge needs to continue. So in days 21 to 25, I tried to just calm down and do what I have been doing before I gave myself this unforgiving goal. And at first, it was actually going well. I actually liked what I was doing, but as the days went by, after having the disaster, which is day 16 to 20, and after doing this for 20 days every single day, it was finally feeling like a chore. I was not enjoying it as much, and I was not as focused as before. And all of that combined, I ended up just making half-assed works. And of course, when I shared it to other people, it was the same low engagement, not much people liking the post and my progress. Then, day 26 came. I felt really worried, because this is the last batch of pixel art I was gonna make for the challenge. If this doesn't do well, if I don't get myself together, the whole challenge would have been for nothing. A sad ending. So that's the day I decided I don't care about anything else. For the next 5 days, I will be doing pixel art, breathing pixel art, becoming pixel art itself. I would use all my time to make the best pixel art I have ever made. And so it began. In day 26, I made my favorite piece in the whole 30 days, an eldritch monster leaning into a more horror aesthetic that I always really liked. In day 27, I wanted to paint a samurai character, so I tested out different poses, but ended up using something like this. And then I copy-pasted the Japanese for samurai, but I don't really know if that's accurate, I just blindly trust Google. In day 28, I wanted to have something like a throwback to my earlier days. At first, I wanted to make this Skeleton King character again, with my skills right now, but apparently that didn't really work out for me. So in day 29, I made this Slime Knight character instead, which at this point has 3 revisions, which is pretty cool. It shows my progress throughout the challenge. And finally, the last day, day 30. I definitely spent more time in this day than any other day, mostly from experimenting on what I actually want to make, because this is the last day of the challenge. I want to make something special, but every time I start, it just feels wrong. I went from one idea to another, and then just decided to calm down and do what I just usually do, just be myself. And so I ended up leaning to my strengths and what I like painting, and made this piece. With that, I have my main lineup. I went into social media feeling absolutely nervous of what can come after this. I mean, after the roller coaster of events and emotions that is this challenge, who wouldn't feel nervous? But I summed up all the courage in my body and clicked post. And then I got more engagement than any other post. So did I thrive in the past 30 days? I would like to think so. But I learned a lot of things in the challenge. First of all, of course, how to actually do pixel art, and also maybe not get too caught up on what random people from the internet think. It definitely affected me when my posts didn't do well, and it positively affected me when my posts were doing well. So yeah, that's it. Oh, and one last thing, subscribe!